All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trade. Today's Thursday, August 19th, 2021. Be sure to watch the end of the video, so I'm going to give some updates on the service that is coming soon. If you guys saw the live stream yesterday, you know about it, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail there. But anyway, so market's gapping down this morning, and panic buyers jumped right in here. I call them panic buyers because if you look at the 50-day moving average, we never even got down there. We did touch that on the E-mini, which is the futures, basically tagged it pre-market, and but usually the cash session, when you make a low like that, especially a low hitting like a moving average, usually the beginning of the cash session you go down there and test that, and we didn't even make a new low. We just gapped down and went right up there. And then you see we went right into gap fill, took out the stops, came back over, back up again, back down, back up again. I've been harping on this all week, but you can't trust any of these moves during options X. And that's just the bottom line. After around 3 o'clock today, $4 billion in premium was evaporated by the institutions. So bulls got crushed today, bears got crushed today, everybody got crushed except for people selling calls. And if you want to know why the market was higher, hard to believe it, but Microsoft made a new all-time high today, and this thing was pumped all day long. This is what they were targeting. I thought they were going to hit Tesla. They targeted Microsoft, and this is what kept the market from selling off earlier, and it's what helped keep it higher throughout the day. Honestly, the exchanges should change this rule, but they never will because it makes it so much easier for the market to be manipulated. But 80% of stocks were down today, 80%. And we were positive still. And that's what happens when you have basically 5 companies making up the NASDAQ and the S&P. And it's borderline criminal, but that's the nature of the game. And if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. But that's just the nature of it, and that's what we're dealing with. But the breadth was awful. I pointed this out earlier. Twitter. Look at XLB, Matt's. Industrials, Russell lost at 200 today. Transport's rolling over. XLE, XOP, OIH. By the way, I pointed this out. I said these moving averages here, this 200 moving average on the XOP and IWM, they're minor levels, and they broke today. Broke pretty easily without a fight. Speaking of minor levels, how about the dollar index? I told you this pivot would be minor. Look at that, dollar breaking right through it with no problem. So we get our breakout on the dollar here, and we may look. So if this gives us a pullback, we could potentially look to take maybe an EUO position. So that's on my radar. That is a 2 times long the dollar ETF. So that's something that we could look to play potentially if we get the right setup. So keep that on the radar. But ultimately, the market's higher, and you're just gonna have to keep respecting it until it tells us otherwise. So the S&P, I mean, we're bouncing off of this lower trend line like clockwork, and until that doesn't happen, the market is still to be respected. So we're still in an uptrend. There's a lot of strength in this trend, and now we do have some dates coming up, but again, we just have to see. We have to let the market tell us what to do. So, and that means not being too aggressive right now. Some of you guys talked to me this morning, and I'm glad to see that some of you guys hedged a little bit. Some of you who were in the money on VXX took some profits off this morning near the highs. Very good job there. Some of you guys were buying like leveraged long ETFs. That's very good as well. That's a good way to hedge it. But we'll get our move in the VIX, but I think we have a little bit more to go here in the equity markets. But let's see, I don't think there's too much else here as far as equities. Let's just go over, I guess we go over gold a little bit here. So gold kind of flattish, not doing a whole lot. And that's another thing too, gold really wasn't doing anything, and that to me is a warning sign that this was just kind of OPEX games today. If there was really fear or anything on the market, gold would be doing more. Crude would have been getting hit. Crude actually, it was down, but it bounced a little bit intraday. If we look here, intraday, crude held up pretty well and actually had a bit of a rally towards the end of the day. So um, yeah, gold and black gold holding up pretty well despite XLE getting hit. The big loser today in commodities, if I can get my mouse to work here. Big loser in commodities was copper. So knifed right through that head and shoulders pattern. You have some support here at the 200 moving average. But ultimately, if you close below this trend line on the weekly time frame, you can kiss this thing goodbye all the way to $3.32. That's the target I have. That was your head and shoulders target, and that would bring you right into this pivot right here. So that's where you'd be going. Now, it doesn't mean it goes in a straight line. It could take a little while, but that is the technical target I have penciled in there. So some of our positions, let's just go over them. So Snowflake. Okay, so Snowflake and Peloton report next week. I believe Snowflake reports on the 25th, so that would be Wednesday. And Peloton is the 26th, Thursday. Now, so as far as Snowflake is concerned, again, this is held up like a champ. I mean, this is just grinding higher. It's not really that overbought either. In fact, you could make a case it's not even overbought because it's had a nice consolidation here, a little breakout, more consolidation, a little push higher, and now it's kind of consolidating upwards again. I think after OPEX, this probably pushes the target. Possibly it runs into earnings as maybe some shorts get out of it or whatever, or what have you. But yeah, we're just kind of riding this one. I will definitely sell it before it has earnings, though. Just keep that in mind. And then same thing with Peloton. So Peloton pulling back a little bit here today. This looks like it's being suppressed under 110. I don't know. It could be an OPEX thing. But as of right now, it's holding this weekly pattern. I'd like to see it close above 109.67 by tomorrow, because that would be a good weekly close for us. It'd actually be an even better buy signal than I had last week if we closed in that 110, 111 range. But again, this one may pop after OPEX. It looks like one of those things where it's just kind of being pushed down into OPEX to me. So we'll see if that gets going, and we can always pick it up after earnings if nothing crazy happens. But I'm not going to hold it into earnings because for all I know, it could gap down to $90, and now but who knows what happens there. So just keep that in mind. So anyways, oh, and then we got to talk. So Budweiser here. This one got hit a little bit today, but it came off the lows nicely. This is still into good support here on the weekly time frame, and that is what the chart is based off of. So you see here the stock flushed, and then it reversed right there. You also have these pivots. It's still into pretty good support here. So this one should get going soon. But if not, we'll just use a 10% stop, and yeah, we'll leave it at that. So as far as the service is concerned, I'm working on a website right now, pretty much around the clock. I've barely slept at all lately, but I'm going to have trade alerts via SMS and email. It'll contain my exact price entry with a stop loss. It'll contain probably target 1 and maybe a target 2, depending on the trade, and also a recommended position sizing. Now, I understand some of you guys have a little bit different goals, and maybe maybe some of you are more position traders and not as short term. So you may want to have a little bit different position size than what I'm going to do, but I'm going to put it in there so that you guys have a recommendation and just for reference. And not a lot of services will tell you, oh, take this trade, take that trade, but they don't tell you how much capital or based on a percentage of your portfolio that is ideal to risk. So that's something I'm going to put in there as well. And then we'll be tracking our performance, obviously. There will be some premium commentary that I will not be doing on the YouTube channels or on Twitter. So I'm still going to do the YouTube videos, but obviously I'm not going to go over specific trades. But yeah, if there's anything that I feel needs to be covered outside of the YouTube videos, I will give that to you guys on there as well. So there will be that. And I am working on a trading course too, but that's a little bit down the road. I do have an outline for kind of what I want to do. So that's going to be in the works too, but I want to get the website done first. And I'm also going to put a little community forum in the website as well. So you guys can talk amongst each other and we can have group discussions and whatnot. So that's cool. That's going to be exciting. It's going to be $5 a month. and I'll probably do like the first 25 or so members will get that price locked in for life. And then yeah, we'll just go from there. But yeah, $5 a month. If you took my trade that I gave you on Zoom, 14%, and you had a $10,000 account, you put 1,000 into that, you're up $135 already. So yeah, just put that into perspective there. Peacock charges $5 a month for TV, and that's something that you don't actually get anything out of. But this service, you're going to learn how to be financially independent, and you're going to meet a lot of great people, hopefully, and I want to get to know you guys more too. So I'm excited about it. But anyways, you guys take care, and thank you for watching. I will talk to you tomorrow.